Darkcast Network, indie pods with a dark side.
Hi, this is Jenna.
And this is Kelly.
You're listening to ODFM.
This episode is One Diamond from Murder.
Finally. I like diamonds.
I like diamonds.
I like diamonds.
They're a girl's best friend.
They are.
Although, I don't know. I think I'd rather be able to eat whatever I wanted.
Oh, that'd be good.
And not gain weight. And actually lose weight. Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be my best friend.
That would be my best friend, too.
That's not happening now. So.
Oh, sorry.
She's in dreamland.
I was picturing how awesome that would be. Okay, yes. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So we're heading back in time. We're doing a historical one. Yeah, I love it. That was you rewinding.
It was.
Okay, perfect. Well, we're back into the 1800s.
Oh, dang.
We're way back there. We're going to Jefferson, Texas. So Wild West.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right.
So in this time period, it's not so fun for women, as we know.
I'm sorry. Is it fun now?
No,
because I'm missing it.
No,
okay.
Not yet. Someday, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe when a woman is president. I don't know.
We'll see.
Probably not. Okay, so women are expected at this time to adhere to strict social moral codes. You know, yeah. Blah. Living in the West during this time, it's not easy. And women were only responsible for all the home duties, like child rearing and cooking. But because it's the Wild West, they often had to help with laborious tasks like farming and ranching just to survive. I know.
Ew.
It's
like labor and shit.
Right. Do we really want to be pioneers? Maybe not.
No.
Yeah.
I don't remember anybody asking. I don't remember being
asked. They just
asked.
did it for us. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we're looking at the life and death of a character that continues to bring intrigue as it offers a window into the life of women in that era. So.
Oh.
Yeah. Especially those living on the fringes of society. So
educate me. Let's
fringes to them were a lot more extreme. Like you had to wear your hair a little bit different and you're on the fringe, you know?
What do you mean you wear your hair different if you were on the fringe? Like mohawks? What are we talking here?
I mean, like anything you did that was slightly different, you're already on the fringe of society back then.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I am on the outs. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But this particular woman in our story amassed not just diamonds, but her charisma and mystery became the stuff of legends.
Ooh. Okay.
She's legendary.
I like it.
So newspapers at the time often contained gossip and speculation, which framed the public opinion.
I'm sorry, is this different? Wait, where are we doing different?
Wait, have we done anything different? I know. But this era was known as yellow journalism. I thought this was interesting. So newspapers.
Yellow? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know why yellow. Like they got peed on? I don't know.
Okay.
Why yellow? That's a good question. We should check that. But
look that up.
Newspapers often used sensationalism and scandals to increase circulation and sales. You know,
I'm still waiting for the difference. Where
I just don't see where that's different. Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, and not a whole lot of like fact checking.
Okay.
And
all
stuff.
Right. Oh,
so,
fact checking was it? Well, there is no Google.
Right. There.
So,
yeah. Makes it hard.
Couldn't...
You have to ride your horse to the next town to find out
right.
the truth. So just to give you the context of what was happening at the time. Being the subject of these articles could probably make or break your life because of all the gossip, especially women who are essentially powerless without many rights that the men have. So this is the story of Annie Stone. She was born in 1854. She's, long ass time ago, to Mark Stone. He was a cobbler who was not known to be particularly wealthy or successful in Syracuse, New York. Yeah, I couldn't find anything about her mom, but that's not unusual for the time.
Right. Yeah.
Like probably doing all this work.
She just birthed her.
She just birthed her, did all the work, you know. Okay, so gossip rags, because that's what they basically were.
Gossip rags.
Reported that at the age of 15, Annie became a mistress to a man whose last name was Moore. Isn't that crazy? They're reporting on this in the newspaper. Like,
wow.
So this guy has this mistress. She's 15. And your parents are like reading this shit? I don't know.
Wow. But at 15, she's practically an adult, right?
I mean, pretty much. So
Practically an old maid.
Why aren't you married yet? You should have been married at 13.
Right?
My God. So she's with this guy. His last name's Moore. You know, her birth name was Stone.
Stone, yeah.
But the affair didn't last long, but she took the guy's last name anyway. I don't know.
You can just do that? You can just go, I got a new name. Okay, right. All right.
I'm not going to register this anymore. I just am. So there's a lot of lack of concrete evidence to a lot of this because
the newspapers disintegrated?
The newspaper. And the newspapers don't report truths very much back then.
Oh, right. So,
okay, there's various accounts that at 15, I love this word because it's so pretty, Annie became part of the demi-monde. It's a pretty word, but it means prostitute or women of the night. Yeah, she's demi-monde. So some stories suggest financial hardship led to her working as a demi-monde, and some suggested her father pushed her into it.
Oh,
but there's no facts to say that he did. Yeah, of course, they're probably just
toss up.
Yep, toss up. Women at the time had little options for work, so
right. You're
probably
criticized, but there aren't a lot of options.
Right,
so...
like I think they said teacher, maybe nurse. You know, not much. Mother.
That doesn't pay. It still doesn't pay.
No, so this is one of those few options that could actually provide a living for females. So
right.
At some point, while she's still young, Annie moves to Cincinnati, which is a big, thriving city at the time.
Oh, okay.
And she begins going by the name of Bessie Moore. So once again, we just
change our names. Okay.
I feel Bessie fits me better. Yeah. It could have been a search possibly for opportunity or independence because Cincinnati's a bigger city. There's more men.
There's more opportunities.
Yeah.
Johns.
There's more Johns. Yes. Bessie, now we'll call her that. She began to work at a brothel called the Mansion of Joy.
Sorry. The Mansion of Joy. Wow.
Yeah, they could have got, I mean, demi-monde's a pretty word. You could have used that somewhere.
Do they also, is that the nickname that they gave like the Playboy Mansion too? The Mansion of Joy? Is that gross?
So much joy being spurted everywhere.
Probably joy all over the walls and shit. Gross.
Bessie, can you clean up your joy room?
Oh God. The joy is everywhere.
There's a little too much joy in that room.
Gross. Okay.
I love it. Okay, so Bessie, she became very popular. She was a very popular prostitute. She had many admiring clients who showered her with diamond jewelry.
I'm glad you said showered with diamonds. I really am glad that you, because my brain was going all
She
the
had
direction.
so many pearl necklaces. I just can't even.
I'm going to vomit. I'm going to vomit right now.
She loved her diamonds and she wore them all the time. Didn't matter if she was dressed up or not. She wore the diamonds all the time.
Shit, yeah, I do it too.
Yeah.
Trust me, if I owned a tiara, you would see that shit every day.
Oh my God. So yeah, this earned her the moniker of Diamond Bessie. Yeah. Bessie was so good at her work with spreading joy that she would travel around the South working, gathering new clients. New Orleans.
You can be
You're a traveling
lady of the night.
That's
a thing?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, fellas in new places and
well, yeah, the same ones get old.
Yeah.
And you gotta spread that joy.
Right. And the news, you know, the gossip rags usually stay in that city and then you can go to a different city and
they don't have gossip about you yet.
Yeah, you get to start new gossip. Yeah. So New Orleans at the time and still today is a cultural hub with a vibrant nightlife. I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm. And the more liberal attitudes there, along with the influx of businessmen and travelers, it was like
seems
financial,
like perfect place, man.
So much joy. So in a city like New Orleans, flashy glamour likely made it a place that Bessie could fit in with less constraints and help her rise in the social scene, if you
wear all her diamonds without anyone batting an eye.
Right. Hot Springs, Arkansas was another destination that drew Bessie.
Oh.
Yeah. I have not been I've heard it's very pretty. It was known as a resort hub with wealthy clientele. So of course she's like, shit, yeah, I need more diamonds. Let's go. There, Bessie is able to mingle with affluent visitors, and they likely would strike up relationships with them. I'd say likely because, like, still, most of this is in the old gossip rags reporting.
Right.
With the gambling and nightlife there, it made for a great economic opportunity for ladies involved in her business. So while in Hot Springs, Bessie meets a man who actually captures her heart.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't they tell us that in Pretty Woman? Don't kiss on the mouth.
That's right.
Don't fall in love.
There's rules for this.
She broke the rules.
It causes problems. You're right. Okay. See, we wouldn't have this story going if she had just followed the rules of prostitution, but she did not. Abraham Rothschild is the man she...
Oh, but that's not an easy name. She was doing so good.
We keep going with easy names. So he was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. He's the son of a jeweler, a very a jeweler. Rich jeweler. I mean, hook me up.
Right.
He was handsome and good at business. Abe, as he was known, worked for his father's prosperous jewelry business as a traveling salesman. So, I mean, when you're traveling, you need joy.
You got to get your joy on the road.
Yeah, there's joy to be had. He had everything going for him. He's good looking. He's charming. He's got this built-in career that his family basically gave him that would almost guarantee wealth if he just worked a little bit. But Abe had his vices, like women and booze, and that led him into a full-fledged alcoholism. So, yeah. By the time Abe and Bessie met, he'd been ostracized from his family, who were embarrassed by him. He's a frequent saloon goer, and he loved him a brothel or two, and and many a woman. Yeah. So he met Bessie in Hot Springs in 1876. And once they met, the two were inseparable. They traveled around the various cities together, living the life of luxury fueled by Abe's wealth that I'm sure he's running out of because his family's kept him off. But despite this, their love affair is tumultuous, and the pair are both now rampant alcoholics.
Oh, boy.
Who constantly fight in public. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like, here they come, screaming, yelling. After squandering all of Abe's money, the two have trouble making ends meet. And of course, they want to continue to live life like royalty. I mean, like many couples, their arguments center around money, which wouldn't be a problem if Abe could control his love of the drink. And since he's a great salesman, and it would have been easy.
Sell some stuff, right?
Yeah. But because of their need for money, Bessie has to remain a prostitute to make money. Abe begs Bessie. She's still got all these diamonds. He's begging her, can we just sell off your jewelry? We can live off of that for a long time.
I worked really hard for these diamonds. I know. You don't know what
you don't know what I had to touch. Ew. Can you imagine? I bet.
I'm keeping my diamonds.
I'm
with
diamonds.
her. I got it.
Same. Bessie would do almost anything Abe asked. Anything. I mean, she would fucking prostitute for him.
Right.
But she's not about to sell off her hard-earned jewelry, like you said. Like much of this story, the details of Bessie and Abe's relationship, they're murky. By some accounts, Bessie pressured Abe to marry her, and some said that she may have claimed she was pregnant, though she wasn't really. So these stories also allege that she threatened to reveal the scandal of being an unwed pregnant couple to Abe's father, which would have caused further problems for Abe. So whatever the true story is unknown, and we can't be sure they're ever legally married, but the couple did begin presenting themselves as husband and wife. They would just claim that. Apparently, at the time, common law marriage was not uncommon.
Okay.
And many couples who shacked up together just to avoid the scandal, they would claim to be married. One report said that while they traveled around together, they stopped in Danville, Illinois.
Oh.
They're in your neck of the woods-ish.
Okay.
Where they wed at the Etna Hotel.
Okay.
Nobody really knows if it's true. But later, the Cincinnati Enquirer published the news of their wedding, which possibly happened in January of 1877. So I'm sure his parents would have heard about that since it was in Cincinnati. But
right, yeah.
The happy, or as many
air quotes,
happy
couple
traveled on to Jefferson, Texas. Soon after this, there's not much reporting to suggest why they're heading there, but it was likely they intended to make money in a new area. They got off train there, registered at the Brooks House, which is a type of lodging establishment.
Okay.
As Abe Monroe and wife. Once again, they're changing their names. I don't know why they use that. It may have been because the Rothschild name was so famous in America at the time, and Abe would have been recognized, and Bessie was also a well-known character.
Okay.
They might have wanted some anonymity on the trip. Also, since the couple were often involved in what one may consider unsavory life choices, They probably didn't want to be judged before they even got settled into their trip. So like, it's Diamond Bessie.
Wait till I disappoint you.
Apparently, though, they're not the types to stay incognito. So...
So why bother with the name?
I know. So they step off the train and it's apparent to everyone they're not from the area. They're like, it's old, dusty.
She's wearing diamonds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She is fully loaded in diamonds, like super beautiful outfits, both of them. They have a load of matching luggage, which, I mean, at the time it was probably like, who has matching luggage from the West?
Right.
And the best quote I had was, the couple had all of their own teeth.
Oh, they're that rich.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow. These people have teeth,
They're
yo.
filthy rich. They're old.
They're down there. Look at those peeps they got. They're teeth.
They don't have to share a pair. I'm going into town. Can I wear the teeth today? I can't.
Yeah. So the pair spent the first 2 days of their arrival eating, exploring town, and loudly arguing. So bringing attention to themselves. Abe was calling Bessie by name once in a while. When he wasn't calling her
Which
awful
name?
names.
Which
I know.
name is he going by?
To him, I guess she's Bessie. And
how many times did someone be like, Mrs. Monroe, and she forgot to turn around?
Oh,
that's me.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Oh,
I
wait.
forgot.
Yeah, I forgot. It's ridiculous. But he's calling her Bessie once in a while in between calling her nasty names.
Oh, God.
Which everyone else still hears. And they didn't seem to mind others noticing all their loud brawls. Abe and Bessie are seen crossing a bridge which led to the town called Marshall. It's like a little footbridge. They're carrying items that make it seem like they're going on a picnic, right?
Okay.
So it looks like they're going to go out into the woods to have a picnic in the middle of January. Yeah, but
it's a little warmer down there, but still.
It is, but still, I don't think it's all that warm. They're seen disappearing into the fog, and that's the last time the two are seen together.
Oh.
Yeah. After Abe and Bessie go for their picnic lunch, Abe is seen returning to town later that same afternoon from a different path.
Oh.
And he went about like usual. His whole self went to go eat by himself, went to go do things, shopping by himself. Yeah, Bessie's nowhere to be seen. Yeah, it's a little weird. So I was thinking this town must have been quite small at the time and people were taking notice of everything because they're newcomers. But
probably because he was being so quiet. Nobody was yelling at each other. They're like, oh, we didn't even know he was here. Look at that.
Oh, look at, where's all the diamonds, all your wife with all her diamonds. Right. Where's she at? But it's actually a smaller town now than it was then. Like now
people have left.
Everyone's like, I'm out. It's only about 2,000 people these days.
Okay.
But in the late 1800s, it was between 7,000 and 8,000 people.
Ooh,
it was like a major, I don't know, metropolis. But it was a major commercial hub due to the port, which gave it access to the Red River and the big Cypress Bayou. So it must be closer to like Louisiana. So though it's more of a commercial center and probably gets a lot of folks doing business, Abe and Bessie still stuck out like sore thumbs there. Which
what does that tell you?
So I mean, it must have been pretty like crazy. So people notice Abe's now alone, and they actually go and ask him, "Where is your wife?" And he says, "Oh yeah, she went out to the country. She's visiting some friends, and she'll be back in a couple days, and then we'll be leaving town." And yeah, so everyone's like, okay. So a server at the restaurant, though, she was waiting on Abe, and she noticed him wearing a bunch of diamond rings. Hadn't noticed that before.
Interesting. I don't think Bessie shares her diamonds.
Yeah, I don't think she likes to. It's not like people sharing their teeth down there.
It's more common.
She's like, no, these are my diamonds. But
she was more willing to share her teeth with him than her diamonds.
I'm sure. I mean, yeah. However, when the day came when the couple was to leave town, the Brooks house staff found the couple's room empty with no trace of Mr. A. Monroe or his wife. So his escape was noticed, though, by all these snoopers in town. And he was seen leaving on the eastbound train alone with all of the luggage. All of that nice luggage to himself. And then just after he leaves, like probably the day after, a snowstorm comes into the area and it continues on for about a week and it is bad. It's like one of those freezing cold, shuts down everything kind of storms.
Right.
After the weather kind of clears up after like 14-ish days, somewhere around there, okay. Sarah King, she's a woman living in the area. She goes out to collect firewood because these women do all the shit.
Right.
She came upon a body of a poshly dressed woman near a twisted oak tree. Some fancy woman just dead. And there were remnants of a picnic near her.
He didn't even take the picnic shit with him?
No, he was like, I'm just going to leave everything. And this woman didn't have any jewelry on. It was noted she had nothing left. Yes.
Shocker.
The dead woman's cause of death was easy to determine with the gunshot hole in her forehead.
Well, that'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Townspeople, they had no idea of the woman's real name. They just knew her by Diamond Bessie.
Diamond Bessie.
And
or Old Hag or whatever
whatever
name he called her. Right?
Exactly. So they had no way to contact her family because, I mean, this is way out west. It's not like you have the internet.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So these nice townspeople, they make a collection of money so that they can give her a proper burial.
Well, that's nice of
Yeah,
them.
it's nice. All authorities knew of the couple was the name they had registered under at the lodge, A. Monroe and wife.
Okay.
So they issue an arrest warrant for A. Monroe on suspicion of murder because they're like,
yeah,
who else could it be? So investigators, they go to this train station to gather more information because maybe they have some records.
Right.
And soon they find his registered name there was Abraham Rothschild of Cincinnati.
Oh.
And the name of its alleged victim was Bessie Moore. So, meanwhile, back in Cincinnati, Abraham has become exceedingly paranoid. He thinks he's being followed. He drinks even more excessively to deal with his anxiety. And then one night during a binge, he walks into the middle of the street and tries to kill himself by shooting himself in the head. However,
in the middle of the street?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, he likes attention. So
I thought you were going to say to like in front of a car or, well, wait, did they have cars? Wait, what time of year is this? Time of year?
Yeah.
What time of life?
He was in front of a buggy. Kill me now.
Right, exactly.
No, yeah,
Shoot
all
himself.
he ended up doing was blinding himself in an eye, shooting out an eye.
Wow.
Shoot your eye out.
Okay.
So while in the hospital, officials are able to track him down because he's in the hospital. And they now know who he really is. So he's arrested. He's thrown in jail to be extradited down to Texas for a murder trial.
Yikes.
Though he had been shunned from his family, they didn't want their name associated with a scandal. So they attempt to fight Abe's extradition down to Texas.
Oh, so that's really the only reason they want to fight it is they just don't
don't give a shit, but they're
don't want him to shame the family.
Don't sully our name even further. Their efforts are in vain. Abe is dragged down to Texas to face a jury. However, the Rothschilds, they rally. They hire a team of 10 powerful and expensive lawyers.
10 lawyers?
10, as one does. In fact, okay, so when I was reading this, they compared it to how sensational the OJ trial was. This is how famous that family was.
This is their version of OJ.
Yeah, they had the 10 powerful, like the dream team of lawyers. Yeah. So their first order of business for the legal team is to get Abe's trial moved to a town outside of Jefferson because those townspeople, they're out for blood. After
know him.
I mean,
they think.
Yeah, they think. They see this beautiful Diamond Bessie who is dead. And I don't know if I described her anywhere.
Was she beautiful?
She was gorgeous. She had been described as several different ways. So sometimes with raven hair and steely blue eyes, sometimes with auburn hair and bright blue eyes, but whatever it was, she was just gorgeous. So, and everybody said she was just this
She was
beautiful.
one of those people who can wear all the hair colors.
Yeah.
I like
amazing.
to wear all the hair colors. I understand.
Same.
You get bored. Okay.
You do. And maybe your eye color changes along with it. I don't know.
Well, it does. Your hair.
It's true.
What you're wearing in your hair can sometimes change the appearance
It's
of
true.
your eyes.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. So, they were pissed, the townspeople, about the death of Diamond Bessie. In fact, it was the townspeople who actually raised another collection of money for the sheriff to go to Cincinnati to arrest Abe. These people were not playing.
They really liked her, huh?
They really thought she was...
Was she spreading the joy down there too? Is that what was happening?
That would make sense. She spread so much joy that people were like, we got it. We gotta
do something about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, it was Texas's first major celebrity murder case because, I mean, it's the 1800s. The Texas governor at the time was quoted as saying it was, quote, a crime unparalleled in the record of blood, unquote.
I don't know. I think we've done too many cases. Like she got single gunshot wound to the head.
This is not unparalleled. I think of this governor as like Yosemite Sam. This is unparalleled in the record of blood.
Yosemite Sam. Love it. Okay.
So Among the star cast of defense lawyers for Abe was United States Senator, not current now, but current then, United States Senator.
You can do two things at once. Aren't you busy?
I guess not.
Okay.
Not if it comes to a Rothschild. You'll do anything for them.
So, current senator.
Yeah, and the future governor of Texas was also one of the defense lawyers. So these are high-up people.
Wow,
and I mean, they traveled to become a part of this. Because of some of the lawyers being involved in state and national legislature, as well as other extenuating circumstances, Abe's trial didn't begin until the December of 1878, till like a whole year later.
Wow, okay.
Because
they had other things to do.
Yeah. Excuse me, I'm writing a thing into actual U.S. law. I'll be back next week.
Right.
So while in jail, awaiting trial, Abe's cellmate was Jim Curry, a man who had shot 2 actors, one of which survived and was Maurice Barrymore, who is Drew Barrymore's great-grandfather.
Holy cow.
I know.
Wow.
I'll tell you that story in a Patreon episode.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right.
So because of all the legal wrangling and such, the trial took 2.5 years to accomplish. It's just like now, like all that, like, technical difficulty.
God.
He couldn't have done it. Yeah, but the trial itself took about 3 weeks. During deliberation, the gossip rags reported that the jury foreman drew a noose on the wall with the words, "That's my verdict," beneath it.
Wow.
Like during trial.
He's
sitting there looking at him, drawing a noose. That's my verdict.
I'd like to object to this juror.
Exactly. Like,
I feel like he already has a decision formed in his mind. He is not going to be impartial.
I know, it's
just
so
a
funny.
feeling I get.
I love it. I have a feeling this is the sensationalism of the writing coming in, but yeah. One rumor was that 12 $1,000 bills. Are there $1,000? There are $1,000 bills.
Are there?
I've never seen one.
I would.
12 of those. They're saying, oh, this report, it kills me. Okay, so they're saying 12 $1,000 bills were lowered into the jury room during deliberation, like some cartoon. Like I imagine like a fishing pole.
Right, like they're on the balcony and they're like, and no one's gonna notice that there's this.
Yeah, there's this thing coming through the ceiling with a bunch of bills on it, and they're like,
they were lowered into.
I thought it was so good.
They should have pulled an Oprah and just been like, everybody look under your chair.
Yeah. If you vote not guilty, you get to keep that. Yeah. But another great rumor was that all 12 jurors suffered a curse after the trial, and they died violent deaths within a year of the conclusion of the trial.
All 12. Huh?
All 12.
Okay. They poisoned the chairs.
So stupid. I love it. Okay, so after the sentencing, which he got death sentence.
Oh, so guilty. Shocker.
Yeah. So that juror foreman's, he really did. He was like, you're going to go get hung. So yeah, he got sentenced to death. But Abe's defense team, they entered an appeal for a reversal on that verdict, saying the trial had been unfair. Excuse me. We need to redo this. This is unfair.
There's some prejudice happening.
And they're able to get it by citing the error of the court, where they accepted a potential juror even after the man had said, yo, I have an opinion in the case. So they were like,
yeah, that's the...
It was probably that guy drawing a noose on the wall.
I wonder which one it was.
Yeah. So the judge declared a mistrial for the first one. The second trial then takes place, and the star lineup of defense attorneys were able to put doubt in the jurors' minds with the testimony of a woman who had prepared Bessie's body for burial. She had claimed to have witnessed Bessie with a man who wasn't Abe a few days after the famous picnic. So
how much did she get paid?
Right.
How many $1,000 bills were dropped on her head?
Oops. The lawyers also argued that, the body was too well preserved.
It was frozen.
Exactly. It was. They were like, it should have been more decayed. So there's no way Abe had left town way long before this. But yeah, like you said, there was giant cold snap.
Snowstorm. Hello.
Yeah. So the strategy works. These people are easily convinced, apparently. You're right. Wow. She should have been half rot by now.
Oh, my God.
So on December 30th of 1880, Abe is found not guilty.
He walks.
He walks. After his release, Abe returns to Cincinnati with his family. And you'd think, straighten out your life. You got this giant second chance. But alas, he continues a life of crime. He's later jailed for a big diamond theft scandal. There's various stories of what actually happened.
Didn't he have all of her diamonds?
And his family has all this jewelry business. Just go work for your wealthy family.
God.
Anyway, there's various reports of what happened, but one that makes the most sense was that he posed as a wealthy businessman around several southern towns. He would obtain large amounts of jewelry on credit, then skip town without paying.
Well, I'm sorry. That's on them. That's dumb.
Yeah. Why'd you just get... What? Yeah, well, he was really good at convincing people.
You look wealthy, you just take that with you and you pay me back later. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. That's right. He had all his teeth. I forgot. My bad.
So there was another great sensational rumor that in the 1890s, a handsome older man with an eye patch visited Jefferson, Texas, asking to be shown to Bessie Moore's grave. Remember, Abe had lost an eye when he shot himself in the head.
Oh, that's right. I was like, what? I forgot.
Arg!
I totally forgot. That's what I was like, what?
Yes. Okay. So these people are saying, this man with an eye patch, he came to town. He wanted to see Bessie's grave, and then he laid roses on it and commented on the goodness of the people there. He gave the caretaker money to take care of the grave. So another legendary rumor. But this is kind of funny. In the 1930s, so way past when this has happened, a headstone appears suddenly on Bessie's grave. Where
these things don't just pop up out of the ground.
It grew.
Yeah.
There hadn't been one there previously. It was just kind of a,
showed up one day.
Yeah, just showed up. And in the 1960s, a garden club that erected in Jefferson, they built an iron fence around the grave. People were taking care of it. It came out later that I think in the 40s, a guy came forward and said he was the one who put the grave there because he felt bad that she didn't have a headstone. So it wasn't that much of a mystery. But the case is still listed as unsolved.
But
I mean, we know who did it.
Right.
But
still, huh?
The mystery of the case and the rumors created such a legend that to this day, there's a yearly play about the event held in Jefferson.
What?
I know, in Jefferson, Texas, every spring during the yearly Pilgrimage Festival. So they have this reenactment of the whole thing, and especially the trial, this sensationalized.
You're kidding.
I would love to go see it and see.
Does someone get to be the guy that draws on the wall?
I'm
that
sure.
role.
I know. Or somebody that's down in the jury room waiting for these bills to be rolled down to him on a fishing pole.
Right. Oh my God.
So that is the story of Diamond Bessie.
That's crazy.
It's so silly and sensationalized.
My God.
I think that now we have found why old stories are so great is because
they're just so
bizarre. Fake rumors. The fake rumor mill.
They're so over the top.
I love
They lowered $1,000 bills in one at a time, 12 times, and no one noticed.
Who's taking the bills? You're good. You're good to go. My sources, of course, Wikipedia, because
as questionable as they are,
I know. This is why Texas State Historical Association, TexasEscapes.com, TheTexan.news, FindAGrave.com, because I'll have to show you a picture. I do have pictures of a grave.
Oh, okay.
AthensReview.com, MyraMcGilvain.com. Don't know what I got from there. Must have been probably some of the good rumors. And CountyLineMagazine.com.
Wow.
There was no shows that I could find on it. Damn it.
Wow. No live reenactment you could watch on YouTube.
Oh, I should have looked up for that. Damn.
Oh,
yeah, maybe the play is recorded. I can see them having a musical to it. A musical would be very good.
What a bizarre.
It's so weird.
Story.
Yeah.
And what a 180 from last week's episode.
That's why I was like, okay, we're going to do one that has barely any sadness to it. I mean, right? I guess there is because someone died, but it's also so fake and
it's so ridiculous.
Irrational that anyway. Thank you for listening, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
We appreciate you. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of ODFM, hosted by Kelly DeVries and Jenna Swanson.
Production and editing by Kelly DeVries. Theme music by Eric Swanson. ODFM is a satirical true crime podcast for entertainment purposes only. The stories you hear are serious and true. The comments and opinions are not. We apologize if any of our content is harmful or disrespectful.
Hey Oddies, thanks for listening to another episode of ODFM. If you're a longtime listener, hey, we cannot thank you enough for your continued support. And if you're a new listener, thanks for giving us a try. If you like us, please drop us a like, subscribe, or rate us so we can share our stories with more people around the world. And if you'd like more information, like links to our podcast and socials, along with our Patreon fan page, those links are all on the Linktree under ODFM Podcast. That's linktr.ee/ODFM Podcast. Side note, you guys, we're obsessed with fan art, and we love making things with it, like stickers for our fans. So if you'd like us to use your designs, send it to us at odfmpodcast@gmail.com. And if we use your design, we'll be sure to send you a sticker.